G'day everybody and welcome back to Apaya Puzzles. It is Saturday and with that brings the Saturday paper and another expedition into the land of our mate Liam Runnalls. Usually a fairly friendly affair, so let's crack on in. I might start with 9 across, I guess. Slightly atypical structure, having all of these first letters unchecked. So let's see, 9 across, newlyweds at the Spanish Open. Missed final by 18 seconds. Okay. This feels like this. Just instinct. Oh, hang on. It's not letting me type. It's feeling like that. So the Spanish would be L. Open missing final would be OPE, and 18 seconds, well 18 plus is R and seconds is S, so there we go, that is right. So with that, one down, sake or sake, bottle, emptied by 50%. So this is going to be sake actually. So that's an interesting misdirection. So sake, to do something for something's or for someone's sake, is to do it on their behalf, I guess, is the synonym pair there. Bottle emptied is B and E without its middle letters, and 50% is half. So 2 down. Conformity of mad comic panel. This should be an anagram, I think, of mad comic. It actually looks like almost looks like accommodate, but that's not right. But panel would be the definition, I would assume. That, no, what am I talking about? I mean, neither of those words act as anagram indicators, do they? I'm going to come back to that. 11 across. A power, probably AP. Couple, permitted, maybe 2 Ps for a couple of powers, permitted to enter with 1 fruity cocktail. So apple ties, I think, or so permitted is let with 1 fruity cocktail. Or is it aperitif or something? Is this a cocktail? Power couple permitted to enter. Yeah, so the permitted is going inside of 1 fruity cocktail. Maybe this isn't maybe a power couple's. No, I'm not sure. I'm going to come back to that one. Happen to cook beef on students' plates. So that's going to be L and P for the student, or 2 L's maybe for the student plate, something like that. Cook beef feels like it's just an anagram of beef. Happened, befell. Okay, there we go. So beef is the anagram of BEFE, and then LL for students' plates, as in drivers. 4 down, it's a reflective variety of wine. Well, I think this might be just that. I don't know that word, but it's a going backwards is asti, and that seems like a plausible wine. I'm not sure about that. Well, it does line up with this idea of apple. The thing with apple ties is like that's I'm not sure that's a generic word. I just thought there's a product called apple ties, I think. It seems like a surprising one to include, but let's back ourselves for a second. The conformity would need a P. Well, mad is the anagram indicator here, so comic panel is the anagram fodder, and we need conformity. Compliance, there we go. So anagram of comic panel. 13 across should be doable. Impartially, cul-de-sac is quite nearby. close. So impartially is fairly, and cul-de-sac is a close, and quite nearby is fairly close. 5 down. Offensive italics on a novel. So this is going to be an anagram of italics on a. That's being spelled in a novel way to give a word for offensive. And I can't think of one. Ending in ANT maybe. I'll come back when I've got some more letters, I think. 6 down. Deer's water source thrives. Does well, or does well. So to thrive is to do well, and a deer is a doe with the S as well, and the water source is a well. 10 across. Drug hotline for stoned tool. So I guess maybe drugs acting as an anagram indicator for hotline. And a stoned tool. Well, this could be something to do with smoking. Not quite sure what that is. 7 down. Prince got sick after whiskey. So that's just will. Whiskey is W in the International Phonetic Alphabet, and sick is ill, and Prince is will. 12 across. Part of spatulas flipping French toast. S and L. So salut is spelt backwards in spatulas. So part of spatulas, S-A-L-U-T, because it's being flipped, and a French toast is salut. 8 down. Used bleach to poison the wine head to detention. This feels like it's going to be whitened. Let's see if we can figure out why. Used bleach would be whitened. So to poison the wine head to detention is, so the wine is being rearranged, it's being poisoned. It's amazing how many words can act as anagram indicators. That gives the first 7 letters, and then the head of detention is D for the final letter. Yeah, so this does look like an anagram here of hotline, and I guess this would have to be a T. Is this a word? I don't know. What are we left with? O, I, T, and H, N, E, and L. Neolith. So it is actually just a tool. I wouldn't have known what a neolith is. I know the word. Neolithic period, I guess, is referring to the fact that they used stone tools at that time. Right, so let's try 15 across. North Korea overturned incarceration of one family. So this is kin. North Korea is NK, being turned around, and it is incarcerating, that is, it's imprisoning a word for one, which is just the letter I, as in it looks like a 1, and it is the Roman numeral for 1. And family is kin. K as a starting letter is useful. Oh, tricky clue though, maybe. Handy hack 6-4. This would be a fun one to spend a bit of time trying to figure out. So this kind of clue, the question mark suggests that it's something a little bit figurative, or it's taking a little bit of license. We're probably going to have to interpret the word, well, either of the words, as in a slightly kind of quite unintuitive way. It might also be a double definition in theory. So a hack can be, I think, a journalist. Something that helps one's hands. To hack is to cut. No, I'm not sure. We'll come back to this. What could this be? I left Liberal brother Edward so rude. So, the Edward is going to be that. Hang on, maybe. No, okay, so Edward's, I think the ED. I left liberal brother. I left liberal could just be LB. Oh, okay, yeah. This is ill-bred. So I is I, left is L, liberal. Oh no, yeah, liberal is just the letter L, and then brother is BR. That's always an abbreviation I don't think of. Oh, this is getting interesting with K and R. There can't be too many things that would fit that. A, E, I, O, U. Well, curb, curbed, with an E. That's a bit mysterious, that. But that's what we expect when solving cryptics. Mystery abounds. Tart and soup I eagerly gobbled. Okay. This is pie. So soup I eagerly is gobbling, which is to say it has inside of itself the letters P, I, and E directly, meaning tart. That's called a hidden clue. 16 down. Puts money into warehouses filled with silicon. Well, silicon probably abbreviates to, well, let's put in a potential word for puts money in, which is deposits. Silicon, I think, abbreviates to SI, and warehouses are depots, which are filled with that silicon. So 16, crap, a long time in the US prison. Well, this might be this. I don't know that term. It could also be that. So crap would be dang, and long time is age or era. I've not heard either of those words, so I'm not confident. There'd be other potential. Yeah. I think it's going to be dung for crap. I don't think I know this prison though. Oh, prison cell. Oh. Weirdly, when I first looked at this clue, the word dungeon came to mind, and I just looked past it. But yeah, dung, and then eon is our long time, and a prison cell is a dungeon. Fairly straightforward. 23, lad gets aluminium piercing in parlour. So this is going to be salon. Lad is son, S-O-N, and it is getting the word aluminium, piercing it. AL is the abbreviation for that, and then a parlour is a salon. 24, boisterous lads beginning experimental duo. So this is loud. Lads beginning is L, and an experimental duo is an anagram of that for OUD. 27, world leader discussing real money. Well, the world leader might be, in fact it's Trudeau. I thought it might be Trump somehow, but world leader is Trudeau from France, from Canada rather. And we are discussing a word for real, so true, T-R-U-E, but the discussing tells us that we're looking for a homophone of that. So sounds the same but is spelled differently, so that gives us T-R-U. And similarly with money, another word for money is dough, and if we spell that differently we get that spelling there. So 17 down, retired writers, boundless desk costs. Well, a retired writer, a writer's often a pen. If it's retired, then it's going backwards. But where's the P? Or maybe the whole thing's P. No, costs. Well, if the boundless no, boundless desk I think is going to be there. Yeah. And for some reason the word for costs, which I think is obvious, is not coming to mind. Let's try 20. Preening face before time with billionaire, making a divine entrance. Wow, okay. So P, the face of preening for P maybe, before time, which would be T, with billionaire. So that could be a few people, maybe Gates actually. Ah, yes. So this is Pearly Gates. Musk didn't seem like a likely inclusion, but Gates for Bill Gates being the billionaire, and preening face is the P. Before time is early, so before was having a purpose there that I didn't identify, and then divine entrance is the Pearly Gates. So 14 down. So this is expenses, which was the obvious word I was looking for. And so retired is X, and then we've got the pen in the middle, and an S on the end of writers. Pearly Gates, 14 down. Catching fellow from Northern Territory with silver debts. So this is going to be contagious. So contagious is catching, and fellow is co. My fellow presenter, for example. Northern Territory is NT. Silver is AG in the periodic table, and debts is IOUs. So we're closing in here. 25, mutant insect DNA used as an example. So this is, well, I was going to say it was instance. Maybe it's instanced. I don't think I've seen that used in that way before, but INSTANCED, that would make sense. Insect DNA is being mutated to give us that word. 22 down. Puzzle from the south of France, fine with you. This is going to be Sudoku, very apropos. In another life, I'm fairly involved with Sudoku as well. Well, kind of in this life as well. I just not expose you guys to any of it yet. And so the south of France is Sud, and fine with you is okay for fine, and U is the letter U. Speakers are playing up. So 26 down, 150 expelled from new school in London area. This is Soho. School is being rearranged because it's new, and then the letters C and L for 150 are being removed, and that gives us Soho, the London area. 28, laugh with head, mortician, and ridicule resting place. So this is hammock. Laugh is ha. Head, mortician is the letter M, the head letter of that word, and ridicule is mock, and a resting place is a hammock. 21, band's reward for number ones in great rock album making millions yearly. So this is going to be Grammy just from the letters that I had. And the first letters, the number one letters of these words, GRAMMY, for a band's reward. So this is going to be a karate chop. And let's see why. Handy hack, so indeed. Hack was in the sense of cutting, and yeah, this is a karate chop is a cut or a chop that you do with your hands. So that's a bit of a quirky one, as we like to see from Liam. Offensive italics on a novel ends in L, and it is going to be an anagram italics on A. So I hate doing anagrams in my head rather than having some paper to help me out. NEOIL N. Oh, hang on. This is not apple tires because I'm going to be careful putting in words I'm not confident of, because if this isn't an anagram, there's no E in it. So, well, that's good to know actually. A power couple permitted to enter with one fruity cocktail. Well, I don't even know the ASCII's right actually. That's interesting. Maybe it's, oh well, no, I was going to say maybe it's apple. Oh, sorry. All over the place here. Let me, hang on. Oh, that'll do. Will it do? Yes. I was going to say it could be apple tone, but that still puts an E here. Let's consider what this word is without that intruding E. So we've got N-O-I-L used, N-O-I-N-L, so that leaves T-A-I-C-S-A. T-A-I-C-S-A. So probably an A here, right? Antisocial. Okay, very nice. Yeah, so that confirms. I'll get rid of ASCII as well. It seemed kind of pretty plausible. Maybe this is appletini. Yeah, I think that is what it is. So, and I've not heard of that, but I guess it's an apple flavored martini or something. A power couple, APP. Let is permitted to enter one with fruity cocktail. So permitted is let in. Oh no, permitted to enter is let in, and then one for I, and then this one I think is ATSI, or however we say that, ASCII rather. And superlative cruciverbalism, is that a congratulations to us, or is that Liam patting himself on the back for another brilliant puzzle? Thank you very much, Liam, for that. Fabulous stuff as always. I'll be scouring the grid later on for some clues of the day, which I've been remiss recently at publishing. So hopefully I'll be back on that bandwagon soon. I think in this one here, Karate Kid was a nice little play. It's hard to remember everything now. It's always nice when there's a bunch of words that you don't really have as part of your active vocabulary, that your cryptic skills enable you to solve and obviously then learn. Appletini is curious. Neolith was kind of slightly unknown to me. ASCII, and there was something else I think. In any case, it is unimportant. We've solved both a crossword and a Sudoku in one day, so that's always a good accomplishment. Thanks for coming along and checking this out. I'll be back with you again soon, and most probably with a wrap-up of yesterday's David Astle puzzle. So take care. See you again.